Imagine a sequel that killed off everything you loved about the last movie. Well, that's Alien 3. So I've been watching through the Alien movies this year for the very first time, and I finally made it to Alien 3. And this is the one that everybody in the comments of my Aliens video warned me about. And I think I understand why. They just completely abandoned the story from the most recent movie and just took it in a completely different direction. Now, I understand how you could argue that James Cameron kind of did that whenever he took over the franchise from Ridley Scott. The first one kind of stood alone. The second one felt like it stood alone as well, so the third one maybe should feel like it did that. But going into this one, you already had a lot of really cool characters to work with. To start heading in any kind of direction in this franchise, it felt like this needed to be a continuation of the last movie. So I am gonna get into some spoilers for this movie. Spoiler warning, if you haven't seen Alien 3, it's been out longer than I've been alive. You can click off the video, you can go watch it, you can come back and watch it, whatever you want to do. I mean, Ripley crash landing on a planet is really cool, but the biggest thing in this movie is why kill off Newt and Hicks and Bishop in the first 5 minutes. It gives them this horrible ending that I hated, and it just put a whole damper on the whole movie for me. So I kind of went in with like a negative mindset to this movie. I guess one of the problems would have been that Newt's actress would have been a lot older, and so I don't know how they would have played that with them kind of ending Aliens in the cryosleep thing. Maybe it was actor schedule or conflicts or whatever it was, but they could have figured something out there. I mean, there's a better way to do this than the way they did it. But then I thought, okay, I need to give some of these new characters a chance because, you know, none of the characters in Aliens were in the first one other than Ripley, and I really liked those characters in Aliens. I had a few of these characters I liked, like the Doctor. I thought he was great. And spoiler here, but killed. I mean, pretty quickly. It happened fast, and all of a sudden, this whole storyline with him and Ripley and possibly their blossoming relationship or whatever that would have become is just cut short. Even the superintendent guy, who was frustrating because he never believed what Ripley was telling him. I really would have loved a, oh shoot, I was totally wrong about this face on his face right before he gets just obliterated by some kind of alien. It felt like that was the biggest problem to me with this movie. As soon as I got invested in some characters, they died. I understand that maybe this was to kind of subvert some classic horror movie tropes where the character with the most lines ends up lasting the longest in the movie, and you kind of see their character progression, and then all of a sudden they die and it carries this weight. But I think this movie does a really good job of proving why that's actually a thing. Because when you kill off a character like our doctor, like our superintendent, then we have to connect to these new characters and we have way less time to do it. It's David Fincher too, who has done some really awesome things like Zodiac, apparently 7, which is one I haven't seen. I might do a retro review of that too. Also, the CGI alien, it is just not it. I mean, I know they were pushing boundaries at the time, but AI could probably do something better than the CGI in this movie. But still, there were very cool alien moments that I assume were done with practical effects rather than the CGI. The character betrayals too in this movie, which, I mean, apparently that's like a staple for the Alien franchise because they were in this movie, they were in the last movie. But in this movie, it was super predictable who was gonna kind of betray the group and betray the team. And it's nothing compared to the first one, especially with that character betrayal. And even in the second one, it was a little predictable, but it still made my jaw drop. In this one, instead of my jaw dropping, I was left saying, oh wow, what an idiot, like 3 times about multiple different characters. Okay, so did I like anything about this movie? Yeah, I did. I mean, there's several cool character moments in this movie, and I really liked the storyline for the most part, but it felt like all the storylines I really cared about were cut short. I thought the perspective of the alien when he was chasing the people in some of the scenes, especially the one where it's like he's on the roof and going after someone, were super cool and definitely had to be inspired by the Predator movie, which I just love seeing that kind of crossover starting to happen. Really, anything involving them trying to get the alien into a room, whether that be the nuclear waste room or the piston room kind of at the end, all of those scenes were really, really cool to me. But I'm still not done with a couple of my complaints, because Ripley at the end, and this is a major spoiler if you have not seen this movie, but Ripley's death at the end of this movie stinks. I mean, it's not good. Like, I didn't feel it in that moment. I wasn't upset that she was sacrificing herself. I did really like that they had the real Bishop show up. And so that was cool to see him kind of come back and talk to Ripley. Even in that moment, I wish there would have been a little bit more lore, a little bit more depth to what they were talking about. He's trying to convince Ripley that they are not going to study the alien, that they're actually going to kill it. I never for 1 second thought that Ripley was going to believe this guy, nor did I ever for 1 second think that this guy was telling the truth. I think it would have been cooler to take that moment to kind of dive into the lore of why they want to study the alien and try to convince Ripley that this is something that's worth doing. This is something that, even though it's dangerous and could kill everyone, is something that they should do. It would have made the argument so much more compelling in that moment, and it would have made her conflict and resolution at the end feel way more rewarding than it actually did. This movie really didn't add much depth to kind of the lore and the mythology behind these characters and the aliens themselves. It's just very, very mediocre. And I think following two incredible films with a very mediocre film is one of the more devastating things for the Alien franchise, because those first two are so, so good. I mean, I put them on a very high pedestal, and the fact that this one just falls so middle of the road with a lot of action horror style movies is really disappointing. I am thankful that apparently Ripley is coming back, because the next one is titled Alien Resurrection, and I've already seen that Sigourney Weaver is playing in that movie, so I'm hopeful that they will give her either a better ending in that movie, or that they will at least continue the story in a better way. So overall, should you add Alien 3 to your watch list? Uh, I mean, I'm gonna have to say no. I think you can avoid this movie. For my rating, I'm gonna give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. It really, I just did not enjoy this. I hope that the franchise kind of takes a turn and gets better from here, but we will see. If you want to see my review of Alien Resurrection, then go ahead and get subscribed to see more reviews like this. If you missed my review of Aliens, then you can check that out right over here. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.